Welcome back, everyone. Tonight, we are diving deep into a case that even the most seasoned paranormal investigators find hard to stomach. Deep in the rural countryside, an abandoned farmhouse holds a secret that locals refuse to talk about after sundown. They call it the hidden pig entity, a manifestation of something truly primal and dark. In this video, we are going to peel back the layers of this haunting, examining the footage and the terrifying history behind this creature. Stay with me, because what we found lurking in the shadows isn't just a simple ghost. It's a living nightmare that has haunted this land for generations. This barn, built in the late 1800s, was once the heart of a thriving livestock trade. But everything changed after a series of unexplained events led the owners to flee in the middle of the night, leaving everything behind. The air here is heavy, smelling faintly of iron and wet earth. Even in broad daylight, there's a sense that the structure itself is watching you. We spent hours scouting the perimeter, finding strange carvings on the old wood that resemble distorted animal features. It is as if the very walls have absorbed the energy of the rituals once rumored to take place here, long before the modern world forgot about this place. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, the atmosphere shifted instantly. That's when we heard it for the first time. Not a ghost, but a sound so physical it vibrated through the floorboards. It was a rhythmic, heavy breathing, accompanied by the distinct sound of hooves clicking against the stone floor. We weren't alone. The locals call this the pig entity, not because it's a literal animal, but because of the grotesque snout-like features and the guttural squeals that echo through the rafters. It is said to be a guardian of the soil, a spirit that never quite left the slaughterhouse floor. Local legends tell a story of a farmer who became obsessed with his prize swine, eventually turning to occult practices to ensure his farm's prosperity. They say he sacrificed more than just animals to keep the land fertile. Now, witnesses report seeing a figure that stands 7 feet tall, hunched over, with the head of a boar and the body of a man. It doesn't just haunt the barn, it claims it. Anyone who enters after midnight reports a feeling of intense dread, as if they are being hunted by a predator that has all the time in the world to catch its prey. We decided to set up high-definition infrared cameras in the main loft, the area where the activity is reported to be highest. Setting up the gear was an ordeal in itself. Every time we turned our backs, equipment would be moved, or batteries that were fully charged would suddenly drain to zero. The temperature in the loft dropped by 20 degrees in a matter of seconds. You could see your breath in the air, even though it was a humid summer night. It felt like the entity was reacting to our presence, trying to drain the energy from our devices to manifest itself. Around 2 a.m., the cameras caught something that we didn't see with our naked eyes. A mass of shadow, darker than the surrounding night, began to coalesce in the corner of the room. It didn't move like a human. It moved with a jerky, unnatural gait, shifting its weight from side to side. As it approached the lens, the audio feed picked up a low-frequency growl that distorted the microphone. This wasn't a trick of the light. This was something physical, something heavy enough to make the old timber rafters groan under its weight as it circled our position. Then the smell hit us. A pungent, overwhelming scent of decay mixed with the metallic tang of blood. It was so strong it made our eyes water. We heard a sudden, sharp squeal that sounded like it was coming from right behind our ears. We turned, but there was nothing there, only the empty, oppressive darkness of the barn. It's in these moments that you realize how vulnerable you really are. We were in its territory now, and the pig entity was no longer content with just watching. It wanted us to feel the same fear that the animals felt in their final moments. In the deepest part of the barn, behind a false wall we discovered, sat a small altar. It was covered in old bones and rusted metal hooks. This was the epicenter. The air here was so thick it felt like walking through water. We realized that the pig entity wasn't just a ghost wandering the halls. It was tethered to this spot by the horrific acts of the past. As we stood there, the sound of scratching started coming from inside the walls. Hundreds of tiny claws, or perhaps hooves, desperate to break through the wood and reach us. It was a cacophony of the damned. The climax of the night came when the entity finally showed its face. For a split second, our floodlight caught a glimpse of a wet, pinkish snout and ivory tusks protruding from a humanoid face. It stared at us with eyes that were black and bottomless, reflecting no light. It didn't attack. It simply stood there, an impossible thing existing in our world. Then, as quickly as it appeared, it vanished into the floorboards, leaving only the sound of a distant, fading oink that sounded mockingly human. We didn't stay a second longer. We packed what we could and ran for the truck. Looking back at the footage, the evidence is undeniable. There are things in the dark corners of our world that we aren't meant to understand. The hidden pig entity remains one of the most disturbing encounters we've ever documented. Whether it's a demon, a tulpa, or the literal ghost of a dark past, one thing is certain: that barn should stay abandoned. Some secrets are better left buried in the dirt. We hope this investigation sheds some light on the mysteries of the rural unknown. But remember, if you ever find yourself near that old farmhouse, don't look into the shadows. Thank you for joining us on this terrifying journey. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the legend of the pig entity, please let us know in the comments. What do you think was lurking in that barn? Is it a ghost or something much worse? Your support helps us continue these investigations into the world's most haunted locations. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. We have a lot more chilling content coming your way very soon. Until next time, keep your lights on and stay safe out there in the dark.